here at the Miami International Autodrome, the home of the Hard Rock Stadium, a multi-purpose sports and entertainment hub which has hosted Super Bowls, Baseball World Series, numerous rock concerts, and now, for the first time, Formula One. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 3.36 miles of track around the Hard Rock Stadium, and 19 corners make up the Miami International Autodrome, which will challenge the drivers in a tight wheel-to-wheel race. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, Carlos Sainz, and Perez. Joe, Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, and Kevin Magnussen. Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, and Bottas. Norris, Albon, Nicholas Latifi, and Daniel Ricciardo. Stroll and Sebastian Vettel starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. gap behind is 21.9 seconds. Oh, mate, great job. Great job. You've done everything we wanted today. That is brilliant.
Here we are then, a phenomenal Miami Grand Prix, and what a great show of skill from our race winners today. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
Charles Leclerc showed exactly how to manage yourself out on the track today. He was almost flawless out there. Incredible stuff.
Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.